Statement, and then we'll open it up for some questions.
Sorry. I guess to start with, I couldn't be more proud of our football team and our coaching staff. These guys have been through a lot. This is a tough ball game. That's a good Cal team. Came in here 5-2. Been playing extremely well. We knew we were going to have our hands full tonight, and we knew it was going to take all three phases to get this thing done. I thought came out of the gates the way I wanted us to. What we talked about, got off to a really good start. Again, in all three phases, defense came out, got big stops. Offense went down, got points. Second quarter was a little rough. Come back, we're down 10. And then the second half, I thought our guys just stepped up and just continued to battle, continued to fight. They were resilient all game long. And I couldn't be more proud of our football team and our coaching staff and the way they've stayed together and welded together. And, boy, what a big win. That joy and that excitement in that locker room is unbelievable. The good Lord has blessed us in that way, and I'm just really proud of this football team and how hard they have fought tonight, how hard they've been fighting, and how resilient they've been through everything they've been through. Had some guys make some unbelievable plays tonight that really stepped up. As you look at the stat sheet, as I look at the stat sheet, just things that just jump out at you. And everybody had an opportunity to make plays in this game, and guys stepped up and did that. And, again, very proud of that. Questions?
Questions for Coach Andy?
You finished with 357 rushing. Was there a point in that game that you're just thinking they can't stop us on the ground?
Well, we made some adjustments at halftime, and I thought as we added a couple of different layers to it, being able to attack a little bit more outside, we really got Kyron a lot more involved in the run game in the second half. He did a tremendous job of that. You look at what Hawk was able to do, just had some explosive runs. The first guy doesn't bring him down. I think he had, 167. I can't see it without my glasses on. So 167, which was huge. And I thought coming out in the second half, we made some big throws down the field. We had the one to Kai. That was a big hit. I think that helped kind of loosen some things up. We got to continue to do those things, and those guys made some big plays for us. So, yes, our offensive line, as battered and bruised as they've been all year long, this is only the second time I think that we've been able to line up with the exact same lineup. And I thought those guys did a tremendous job of just coming off the football, controlling the line of scrimmage, and allowing us to run like that.
Monty, what did you see out of your defense after halftime and the adjustments they were able to make to really stymie Cal in the second half?
Yeah, again, we went into this game with the mindset of we needed to make them one-dimensional. We had, 357? And they had 39 yards rushing. And that's what we needed to do. We needed to take that element away from them. I think in the second quarter they were kind of generating some yards, and then I thought our defense really just bowed up right there, really did a great job versus their rushing attack, and really tried to make them one-dimensional and put them behind the chains where we have an opportunity to use some of our pressure packages to try to get him off his spot, have an opportunity to get some sacks in there. Kamari had 3 tonight from a defensive tackle. That's tremendous. But we had a lot of guys step up and make plays in those areas. Caleb, I guess, had another, I don't know what he had, 8, 9, 10, whatever it was, tackles tonight. That's a tremendous effort by him, but a lot of guys stepped up and did things like that.
Coach, you mentioned the resilience
Yeah.
of the team. It seemed it was never more evident than after the roughing the passer penalty. I'd like to hear what explanation you got on that. And then they score on the first play of overtime. What are you telling your team after that as well?
Well, there was a lot of calls in this game that we'll have to look at. That one was a tough one. Don't know that I'll get into all the details of all of that conversation, but that's a tough call at that particular time in the game. As you look at the play in overtime, one play score. At the end of it, whether it's one play or 7 plays, they scored a touchdown, and now we got to go answer. And I was proud of our offense for sticking up there and making that part of it happen. And then you got to turn around, you got to do it again. And those guys again did a tremendous job. The play that Kyron and Takai made there for the touchdown, just had a really good look for it. Takai made a great catch. It's a good read. It was behind him a little bit, but in a tight window, and we're trying to find that window. So tremendous play by both of them. And then Kyron, on the 2-point play, just put it on his shoulders and let him go get it, and he did that. So I was proud of our football team. And then the defense goes out and gets a huge stop. I mean, the other thing that I want to make sure that I comment on is right there late, our fans were tremendous. I mean, the amount of noise, the amount of excitement in the stadium, that was unbelievable. And we needed all of that to get through this one.
David Cunningham.
You just talked about Takai's the 2-point or the touchdown in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
The one he scored, the 44-yarder. Can you kind of break that down a little bit and just he was wide open, the play Kyron made, and you guys didn't throw it a ton, but felt like you guys were very selective when you did, and Kyron hit on some big ones.
Yeah, he really did hit on some big ones. We did a little bit more 7-man pro, trying to give him a little bit more time, but we were running the football so well, and they were getting their safeties very active, involved in it, and felt like we had a good matchup with Takai. It was a good play fake, good protection, gave him time. Takai ran a tremendous route, and it was a nice throw and catch. And then Takai's got great speed, so just being able to finish it right there was huge. And so we got to continue to keep finding those opportunities. We had a couple more in there that I thought we had, but that was a big one for us for sure.
Second row, Ricky.
Coach, you mentioned that the guys have been through a lot this
Yep.
year, and this was a big win for them, but you've also been through a lot so far this year. How rewarding was this win for you personally?
Don't get me wrong. I'm overjoyed, right? Overjoyed, and I'm an emotional person, so I'm gonna keep that part of it. But this has always been about those young men in that locker room and the way they have fought through everything, and that's what makes me happy, is to see them happy in the locker room, to see all the work that they put into it, to see everything that they've been through, for them to stay that tight together, to battle like they have, to be as resilient as they've been, and then to see that locker room afterwards, that's all I need, and very, very happy for them.
We got time for 2 or 3 more. Tim.
Kyron running 21 carries tonight, 137 yards on the ground, obviously 5 touchdowns between the air and the ground. What are your thoughts on his performance and the toughness he showed, especially as a runner?
Kyron played unbelievable tonight. I mean, he made some great reads, he made some great runs, made some great throws. He takes a lot of criticism at times, but I will tell you that guy is sound and as resilient and as competitive. He's in this building all the time trying to get better, finding things to get better at. And, tonight he showed how tough he is, how much of a leader he is. And, we couldn't have done that without him. And I'm glad he's on our football team. But he had a tremendous night. A lot of guys had tremendous nights, but he had a tremendous one. And it was great to see that.
You talked about the environment earlier. How much do you guys notice the specifics of that, or is it just the energy that you notice? Because obviously there was some attention on some of the activity of the students during that second half.
Yeah, I don't have any idea about that part of it. But the crowd was unbelievable, especially there in the overtime period. And in the second overtime, when defense went back out, I've been on the other side of that with fans like that, but I don't know that I've felt in the environment as electric as what it felt right then. And the amount of noise, the amount of spirit that was in the stadium was absolutely tremendous.
Second row, Ryan, and we'll finish with Connor.
Coach, you noted that Kyron running the ball, you ran it more in the second half. Was there something you saw from Cal's defense that let you know that, okay, we can get Kyron going on the ground a little bit here?
You know, we just felt like we needed to add another element. And once we kind of got into the flow of it, he did a great job of reading some things. We were trying to split the defense a little bit more, try to keep them honest. Again, they were trying to get a lot of extra hats down into the box to try to help that. I think some of the shots that we took allowed some of that to happen. And then, obviously, what he was able to do, we had some tremendous blocks on the outside and some other things that happened. But he did a really nice job of reading it and taking what they gave him and then making the most of it when he had the opportunity. And he played really well in that regard.
Last one, Connor.
Coach, first of all, congratulations. This is a massive win for the program in such a, say, a transitional period right now. What was as soon as you walked into the locker room, I know you said that there was a lot of joy in that locker room. Do you think just a light switch just flipped when it comes to the team chemistry?
The team chemistry has been, with everything that has gone on, the team chemistry has been really, really tremendous, right? These guys, they've stayed together, they've welded together, they've kept it about what we've got to do. The leadership within that locker room has been probably the best I've been around. And I've been doing this a while. And those guys, they've been locked together. And it's a strong brotherhood, it's a strong community. And, you know, that joy that they have right now, that's because of the energy and the effort, the attitude, the things that you got to have as a football team. That part of it is what builds into that joy. And they needed it. They needed to feel that. They felt it a little bit. They haven't felt it as much as we want, but they're striving for it every time, and they're relentless about it. And I'm proud of them for that.
And Kyron had that interception in the red zone. What was the message to him when he got on the sideline to kind of pick the feet back up and move forward?
You know, the great thing about him is you don't have to go through that scenario with him. You know, hey, we're going to get the ball back. You're going to have opportunities to keep going and making plays. And he stepped up and just continued to keep going and making plays. It's one play. I probably could have gave him a better call. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, the guy played his tail off, was a huge factor in us being able to win this football game. And you saw it there late in the game, how he put it on his shoulders, and he went and got it done. And that dude's special.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all enjoy your night because I'm going to.
We'll have some players coming up.
All right.